Greetings everyone and welcome to this video. We are going to talk today about your home environment, raising the vibrations. If any of you have a feeling around your home that you live in or properties you visit that there's a tension or a lack of peace or a lack of relaxation, this is the video to sit back and listen to and connect with. When anyone walks into their home, you want to feel as if the weight of the world is lifting off your shoulders. Your home should be a haven. Your worries should be lessened when you walk inside it. Now, achieving this type of space can seem like a major task, but actually bringing in good vibrations doesn't have to be as hard as you would think. It's relatively easy to make change of vibration within a home, whether it be your personal home, as I say, or a guest house, or a holiday place you are visiting, or even a workspace such as your place of employment, or even going to someone else's home if you feel as if there are negative vibrations around. Now, these can occur for any number of reasons. They can be short-term negativities, or they can have existed in a property or a building or the land that a building sits on for a very, very long time. There are many ways of addressing the situation, as I mentioned, and I think today we'll touch on a few of them. Because there are so many different ways, it can become a little bit disconcerting as to think of which one should I try to change the frequency in my own home or to raise the vibrations. I'll give you an example of something that recently happened to myself. We purchased a home. It was an older home, so not old in terms of some of you guys that live in homes that are hundreds of years old, but in terms of New Zealand wise, it was built in the late 70s, so the 1970s, so it's relatively old, and it didn't have a lot of modernisation. It's quite run down. It needs a lot of modernising, it needs a lot of updating, so it's kind of like a project in this house. So when I first went in it after purchasing it and moving around the house, I felt this unbelievable desire to go back in time, and I kept thinking of back when my children were really little and we would go to beach places for holiday and we would enjoy the laughter and the fun of children, of years back when my pets were really young and they were coming into my memory as well. You know, when you just get a new puppy in your life and you feel that exuberance and excitement. And I kept thinking, why am I getting these constant feelings of going back in time and remembering childhood feelings of pleasure and happiness and gaiety and love, unconditional love? And I felt the house had this heaviness to it, like a dragging down energy. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. The next time I went in, I felt the same energy, and I began to feel a little bit, I don't know, maybe anxious or nervous in the house, but definitely there was a feeling of sadness that was coming towards enveloping me. So I tried to ponder a little bit more about what it was and where I was feeling this feeling most often. And of course, working in the nature of things that I work with on the spiritual essence side of life, I came to know almost instantly that I would be doing quite a lot of clearing work on the house. I mean, it is always my energy anyhow to go into any property and spend some time connecting with it and figure out what it is that the vibrations are giving off and what needs to be moved on or healed or moved out. So I'd come to the decision that there was a great deal of sadness involved in the house's energy. Not necessarily the house itself, but in the people who had been in the home. Now, they were an older couple and they were in their late 70s, and it was time for them to move on. They had been in the house for over 10 years, bringing up their family there. It was a holiday home at a beach in New Zealand. So they had had 10 years of living in the home, but it didn't feel this great happiness. They just felt this quite sorrow in the air. Well, it came to light shortly after that the reason that the sorrow was there was because they had in fact lost 2 of their children, not necessarily in the house, but there was a DNA cancer link within the family, and their 2 sons died of cancer, both within a very short time of each other, and both relatively young. Well, one was in his late 20s and one was in his early 30s, and this happened over a period of about 3 years. So there was this great grief in the house, and there was a great need for them to feel that they were constantly going back in their minds or reliving when their children were happy and healthy and young, and when the family was all at one, loving their holidays and having happy times. And so I had picked on this very, very clearly. It also came to light that they lost their 2 beloved dogs while they had this house as well, and the dogs had also spent many years at the property. So that's also why I was picking up on the feeling of the pet energy and going back in time, thinking of my pets back when they were very young. So I'm moving through the energies of clearing the house at the moment, and it won't be something that can be done overnight, but I have already started projecting healing energies towards the house, and especially to the people who lived in the property, the ones who lost their sons and their beloved pets as well. To have such loss all connected in around one synergy or one home, that energy builds up and it's contained. And so to help pass blessings forward, and especially to the parents who went through such trauma, I'm working with healing their energy as well as the house. So they don't know that I'm doing any of this. They've now since moved on and the house has become ours. But every time I go there, I go with the sincerity of asking healing to be brought to the parents and to the sons who have passed over, and for them to know that unconditional love is always around them, surrounding them at every level, whether it be in the physical realm or in the spiritual realm. And that's the angel of love, for instance. So as you can see, there can be many different reasons why any property might undergo vibrational negativity or heaviness, such as when there's financial constraints, which can bring about hostilities or anger or even deceit being involved. All of these energies, for whatever reason, can have an incumbent effect on the property that you are either living in or thinking of purchasing, or residing in temporarily, or visiting, or working in even. There can also be a case when people have passed over to the other side, and sometimes their spiritual essence is a little bit stuck, and it can actually be holding on to the property and it hasn't been ready to move over. So trying to, as I say, make a property raise its vibration is not as difficult as it seems, because we have a lot of variety of tools and methodologies that we can use to enhance vibrational essence in our properties. So one of the first things that you can do to alleviate tension or a feeling of negativity or a feeling of heaviness in a property is to bring about the vibration of noise change. Now you can do that simply even by going through room to room and clapping. You can clap up and down the walls or around pieces of furniture. You can even do it by opening windows and doors and allowing the energy flow of the wind to move through the house. Lifting blinds up and allowing light to come in is also a natural cleanser and healer. The more sunlight we actually let into our rooms, because the sun is what gives us life and energy and high vibrational frequencies on the planet, is a really good way of cleaning energy in a room. That and opening windows and doors. So this, coming back to the other offer of sound frequency, is the Tibetan bowl, and you can go through every part of the house and you can use it just for side tapping, which every time you utilize a noise at a high frequency, and this is the heart chakra frequency, you are creating a shift in the air around the areas that you are arranging with your tone and pitch of sound. So that will shift a deeper vibrational energy, and the deeper vibrational ones, or the darker ones, are the lower ones that you are wanting to shift. You can also use the Tibetan bowl to get it into the singing practice. That also is a slightly more intense version of sound altering properties. And again, you go through each room in your house and you do this until you feel a palpable shift. Now, some people will feel it instantly. Some houses or properties, buildings or businesses will feel the shift immediately as well. Other times it could take you a relatively long time to get an overall shift, depending on how long the negative frequency or the heaviness of the building that you're trying to reorganize, depending on how long that heaviness has been sitting around. So there are other sound principles we can use as well. You can use any of the meditative principles or chakra balancing tools. You can find them on YouTube. You can play positive enhancement music. You can use any of the positive hertz frequencies, and there's thousands and thousands of videos on YouTube alone. You could be playing these in the background of your home, which is also a subtle way of raising energy vibrations. There's things like the 852 hertz that helps to let go of fear, overthinking and worrying, a cleanse destructive energy. There's the 936 hertz, which is a healing music. It's the frequency of the gods. It's a deep healing miracle tone. There's many different hertz frequencies that can help to alter the vibration and frequency of your home. And as I say, for whichever reason it is that any of you are thinking of applying these methodologies, these are just great examples on how to go about doing it. So if we move away the sound organization thought waves, we come into another option which you see sitting on the back of my table, which obviously I adore, the crystal energy, and they can be really helpful and really easy to use when you are trying to alter the vibrations in a home. Hello, my darling. This is so weird. For instance, a good one to have at your front door is jade. Jade is the stone of wealth and good luck, so it's good to place that at your front door, for instance, anywhere in a home or business. In a bedroom, amethyst is a really good one to have because it supports calm, balance and peaceful energies. And I have quite a lot of amethyst in the room. I do like it in the house. It is a very good healing stone. You can have rose quartz, for instance, in the kitchen. I like rose quartz again anywhere, but some people suggest it's good in the kitchen for healing and nurturing properties. You can have clear quartz in the bathroom. I have a lot of beautiful different clear quartz examples. In the bathroom, they give confidence and self-love. Now in an office or your study, such as a room like this, you can have the citrine, which is a beautiful stone to have in your home at any time. That can boost concentration, stamina, success and wealth it can bring in. In a children's room, obsidian is a good stone to have. It wards off nightmares, fears and anxieties, and it can soak up negative energies. We often see a lot of children connect with that spiritual realm, and they can have nightmares at different levels at different times in their lives, and I often think it's really beneficial to utilize something like the crystals in their rooms, and also such as the diffuser with the essential oils which is going on in the background there. In the lounge you can have amber, which purifies and it brings in relaxing energies, and it can also bring in a splash of romance as well. So these are just some of the ways that you can go about altering and changing the energies in your home relatively quickly. And the other one we'll touch upon very briefly is, as I've just pointed out in the background, there is a diffuser that is working, and I happen to have in it at the moment cedar wood, which is an essential oil. Now essential oils can be very powerful ways of altering, again, frequencies in a home. We know that when you go for something like a massage, often they'll use a lovely massage oil on you, and while you're relaxing with a massage and you get the beautiful perfume of these essential oils, all sorts of wonderful feelings can come across you, that relaxation, the pleasure, the enjoyment, just the calming down. Now, you don't have to have a massage with oils. You can use them on, you can just use them topically on your skin. Some oils you can actually ingest, and others you can diffuse into the room, which go into the ear so that you're gently breathing them in, and they're changing the overall vibrational status of the area in your home where the diffuser is. Now, for instance, the cedar wood oil that I'm using there actually has the juniper in it, and juniper negates negativity. It works by purifying negative energy in the environment and from other people. It cleanses energies harmful to good health, and it can also transform negative emotions into positive. Lavender is another really classically wonderful one for altering moods and behaviours. This one here is actually called Lavender Peace, so it has a few other particular properties in it. But for instance, lavender clears out energies that will not leave a space. Traditionally used to neutralise bad frequencies during cleansing rituals. Lavender is also known to be relaxing, so having it in a room before a social event can prevent negative energy before it even starts. Another one that's really, there's Enzo joining us. Another one that is a really powerful one for raising the vibrational frequencies is frankincense. So it's used for purification. Hello, my darling. And it can also be used to eradicate negative spirits that can be trapped in a house. So it's reported to remove negative influences in the body, the aura, the psychic, and the environment. Frankincense works well diffused in a room. I mean, there are many, many different essential oils that can be used to alter frequency and to raise the overall vibration of your house. Of course, another wonderful way of altering frequencies or changing the energy flow in a room is the use of the Himalayan salt lamps. These salt lamps have a tendency to change the ionization process in a room. So salt lamps sort of help to absorb positive ions and then put out negative ions into a room, which is actually what we really need. We have a lot of positive ions in our environment in modern society. So some of the other top reasons why salt lamps are beneficial for you: they cleanse and deodorize the air naturally. They can help reduce allergy and asthma symptoms. They can ease coughing. They increase energy levels. They neutralize electromagnetic radiation, of which most of us have a lot of that in our homes these days. They can induce better sleep and improve mood and concentration. And they can actually help to treat seasonal affective disorder, which is often what happens when people who live in countries that don't get a great deal of sunny weather in the summertime, or have particularly long winters or a lot of dark months of the year. They can be affected with what they call SAD, seasonal affective disorder. So this can also help to raise the frequency vibration around those type of emotional issues as well. So again, Himalayan salt lamps are very, very versatile and very beneficial and useful in your home. So if any of you are feeling as though something needs to be altered or changed in your home or around your work or in your office space or in a place that you have visited, these are very simple techniques that you can literally take with you, or spend a few minutes practicing and moving the energies around. Certainly, I think also with humans or people these days, there's a lot of emotions going on around the world. We either feel often a lot of fear or anxiety or worry, so we get ourselves out of balance. So we can require balance to be brought back in, and that's what this Angel of Balance card is all about. So helping to bring balance into situations, whether it's an actual property or whether there have been arguments or anxieties or hostilities within a home, just within the people, using things like the crystals, the essential oils, the noise frequency such as the Tibetan bowl or the symbols can all be such positive ways, very quick and easy, to bring back harmony, peace and love into your home. So there we are, guys. I trust you have enjoyed this little tutorial on how to raise the vibrational frequency of anything around you. Wishing you all much happiness while you try some of these ideas. Thanks, guys. Namaste.